Yes, so this is it, that Q becomes S clock plus R clock bar dot Q. And if you talk about Q bar is equal to what? Q bar is equal to S1 Q, right? And NAND. So S1 dot Q bar. Now what is S1? S1 is R clock and NAND, right? And then bar NAND. And what is Q? Q is R Q bar. So R dot Q bar bar. Now in place of R you will put what? S clock NAND, right? So in place of R you have put S clock NAND dot Q bar. And now you apply De Morgan's theorem, you get this R clock plus S clock bar dot Q bar. So this is it. This is how we get Q and Q bar. Now, and in terms of what? Inputs. Now we should put clock equal to 0. To understand the importance of clock, you put it 0. You to understand everything, you put that 0. So you will understand why it is required. So what is, when clock is 0, what we see that Q is equal to S dot 0, that in place of clock we are putting 0, plus 0 dot S whole bar dot Q. Now what is S dot 0? It is 0. What is 0 dot S? It is 0. And bar bar. Now see, what is 0 bar? 1. Now 1 dot Q is what? Q. And 0 plus Q is Q. So this is how it becomes Q. So Q becomes Q and Q bar also becomes Q bar. This is known as what? This is known as no change. So when clock is 0, the output will not change. This is the importance of the device, that it can store. If you make clock 0, whatever input you give, that will not be transmitted to output. The output is going to hold its previous value, right? Its previous value. Now when clock is equal to 1, now if you put clock equal to 1 in these two expressions, what do we have? Q is equal to what? S dot 1 plus R dot 1 bar dot Q, R dot 1 bar dot Q, right? So this is how it becomes S plus R bar Q, and similarly Q bar becomes R plus S bar Q bar. Now see this, that now when clock equal to 1, Q has become dependent on, Q and Q bar has become dependent on S and R. Now S and R can be of four kinds: S0 R0, S0 R1, S1 R0, S1 R1. So if you start with S0 R0, then if you put it here, because clock is 1 now, so if you put it here, what do you get? You get 0, you put it here 0, plus what is the value of R? R is 0, so 0 bar dot Q. So it becomes what? Q, and Q bar will become Q bar. Again no change. Now with 0 1, if you put it here, then S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Then what do you get? You get 0 here and Q bar is 1. So if Q gets 0, we know it is what? Reset. Similarly S1 R0, you get set. Similarly S1 R1, you get race condition, right? You can understand it from here. If you see closely, if you pause the video and see closely how it is coming, you will understand it. Now you'll have to summarize, right? What you have found? You have found that when clock is 0, whatever may be the values of R, S and R, Q is going to no change, right? And when clock is 1, with SR 00, again no change. And when clock is 1, then 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. If S is 0, output is 0. If S is 1, output is 1. See, output is following S, right? And when 1 1, you get no result. That is known as a race condition, right? It is the same condition that we have discussed in case of NAND latch also. Fine. So this is it. This is how we understand the operation of clock tracer flip flop. And we have understood that this last condition we do not understand, right? This last condition, that output goes into rest or output becomes unpredictable, we are not going to take this condition. So that is why from SR flip flop we have moved to JK flip flop, right? So see the difference, it is the same circuit. See, the circuit is same, but only there is a feedback in this NAND gate. There is a flip flop from Q bar, and in this NAND gate there is a flip flop from the feedback from Q. Fine. Now we again write equations for Q and Q bar. So what is Q? Q is equal to R Q bar and NAND. So what is R1? R1 is J clock Q bar and NAND. Fine. And what is S1? What is S1? S1 is K clock Q. K clock Q and NAND. This Q was here, this bar was here, and this whole bar was here, right? Now you apply De Morgan's theorem. So what will happen? That this bar will go and this bar will go, and this dot will become plus. So this is the expression for Q. On similar reasoning, you can get the expression for Q bar. Now again we are putting clock is equal to 0. So as you put clock is equal to 0, then see Q is equal to, in this expression, if you put clock 0, then J dot 0 dot Q bar plus K dot 0 dot Q whole bar dot Q. And now if you analyze, this will become 0 because 1 0 makes 0, and this will become 0 bar 0 Q, and then what is 0 bar? 1 dot Q is Q. Fine. And Q bar will be Q bar. So this is no change condition. It is similar to what we have understood in case of SR flip flop, that when clock is 0, the device enters into no change state. And now when clock is 1, you put clock 1 here, you get new expression J dot 1 dot Q bar plus K dot 1 dot Q bar dot Q, and you get new expression JQ bar plus KQ whole bar dot Q. Similarly, a new expression for Q bar also. Fine. By putting it, you can do it by your own hand. It is recommended. I advise you to do it by your own hand so that you can get the feel. Otherwise, you will not feel it, and unless you feel it, you don't understand it, and unless you don't understand it, you will not be able to explain it or apply it. It's very simple. Now, when J equal to 0, K equal to 0, now we are using these two equations now, right? So when J equal to 0, K equal to 0, you put the values of J and K here. What you get? Q is equal to Q, Q bar is equal to Q bar, no change. Now these conditions we are not interested. The last condition we are interested, that when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, because in S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, we had got race, and to remove this race condition, this unpredictable condition, we have entered into this JK flip flop. So let us see whether JK is able to get rid of this race state or not. So J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1. So you are putting Q is equal to 1 dot Q bar plus, you are putting in this equation, right? So 1 dot Q bar plus 1 dot Q whole bar dot Q. So this will become what? Q bar dot 1 is equal to Q bar plus Q bar dot Q is equal to 0. So this will become Q bar only. So Q becomes Q bar. Now you can tell that when both the inputs are high, the output will be just the opposite of the previous state. That is the output. Fine. Okay. Thank you. So in this way we get the table of JK also, right? When clock is 0, J and K, whatever may be the values of J and K, it is in no change. When clock is 1, 0 0 gives no change again. 0 1 output follows J, 1 0 output follows J, 1 1 toggle. Fine. Now come to this SR flip flop and JK flip flop. See, in SR flip flop we have studied it, right? This is the chip level diagram of SR flip flop, right? Symbol of SR flip flop, and this is the working table of SR flip flop, right? So when clock remains 0, whatever may be the values of J and K, you will enter into no change, right? Because when, see, in practice also, if your time does not come, you whatever input you give, you will enter into no change. And if your time comes, you do not give any input, again there is no change, right? So if time comes, you will have to give appropriate input to get appropriate output. See, output is following S, and then we raise condition. In this case also we are getting the same results. The difference is that between these two flip-flop is in 1-1 condition we get raise here, and in 1-1 condition here we get toggle. Now considering condition 2, rather considering condition 3 and 4, right? So this should be 3 and this should be 4. So considering 3 and 4 in both the tables, see, output is following S or output is following J when SR and JK are complementary to each other, right? When they are 0 1 or 1 0, the output is following S or J. So what we can do, we can make them complementary, right? And we get this new input which is D. D is same as S, D is same as J. Now both these flip-flop will result into a new flip-flop which is known as D flip-flop, right? So D flip-flop is a modified version of SR or JK flip-flop. Fine. So from this what do we get? If you write the table, then clock DQ. So if clock is 0, whatever may be the value of D, it will enter into no change. And if clock is 1, if D is 0, output is 0. If D is 1, output is 1. Because output follows J or output follows S. So we have made these two flip-flops to act like a D flip-flop. Now consider the last condition, right? 1 1. The last condition and the first condition. So we are considering what? Case 1 and case 5, right? So when J equal to 0, K equal to 0, the device enters into no change, and when J equal to 1, K equal to 1, the device toggles. So when J and K are equal, the output toggles, right? So that is why we have shorted J and K, and this results in this flip-flop results in this T flip-flop, right? This T flip-flop, T is the input. So if T is 0, J becomes 0, K becomes 0, the device will be in no change, right? As explained earlier. But if T is 1, then J equal to 1, K equal to 1, the device will toggle, right? So this is all about the 4 elementary flip-flops that we have: SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, D flip-flop, T flip-flop. In the next class, we will discuss about H triggered flip-flop. Thank you.